If I could go back in time, I would tell my 30-year-old self, girl, listen up. I have my top 10 things I wish I knew when I was 30. I thought aging was just about wrinkles. Oh, was I wrong? It is so far from that. It's like when you're in your 20s and 30s, you just can't even fathom what it would be like to be in your 50s or 60s. I feel like after 50, when I was like in my 20s, I feel like they were about ready to retire at 55. That's just the way it felt like to me. You just didn't care about how you dressed, what you did, any of that. I'm going to get into my top 10. If any of these surprise you, drop me a comment down below. I like to hear what you wish you knew at 30 if you went back in time. Let's get into it. Skincare that starts sooner than you think. What I wish I knew. I thought drugstore wipes were good enough. I thought I could wipe my makeup off with alcohol. I thought that was a toner. Like legitly, that's what I did. I thought you wanted to dry your skin out. It's absolutely insane. Big mistake. What I do now, retinol, sunscreen, hydration, active ingredients in my skincare. It is so opposite than what I thought. I don't even remember my mother even doing any kind of skincare regimen. It was like wash your face with soap and use like a alcohol toner or sea breeze or something like that. It was like that's what your skincare it was like 2 steps. Maybe lotion. I don't even think lotion was even in the regimen. It was like 2 steps and you're done. However, you didn't really wear a lot of makeup back then like you do now. All the different types of foundation and skin tints and sunscreen, all that kind of stuff. I feel like you wear more layers now than you did then. However, now, I mean, retinol is the number one. I mean, there are definitely some store brand ones that you can start there. I'm on a prescription. I have been since I was 37, somewhere around there. It's just one day I was just like, I need my skin to do a little bit better. And I don't know what I was doing, reading something, and they were talking about that to be the only thing at that time to really change your skin, which I would even honestly even say even now, it's really the only thing science-backed that can change your skin. Help with pigmentation, fine lines, your collagen, just everything. So that's my number one. Sunscreen, if you want to really preserve your skin, maybe that's a nicer word, preserve your skin, start when you're 20 and 30 using sunscreen, definitely from top to here. Really, you need it all over, but if you're going to do this every day. Every day, a must, even if you don't wear any makeup or if it's cloudy, it doesn't matter. Just do those 2 things and you will look youthful. I promise you that. Metabolism will slow down, but you can outsmart it. Like, what were we thinking? You know, back then, what I wish I knew, crash diets, they backfired. But what I would say, super skinny, bone thin was the big thing back then. It's like you wanted to go cardio all the way. You wanted to do cardio classes. You didn't care about weights. You didn't care about any of that. Your skin texture, none of that. You just wanted to be bone thin. I just can't even believe that was our mindset back then. It was like you couldn't be skinny enough. I mean, it was like, well, I guess if you wanted to lose a few pounds, just go ahead and just not eat for 2 days, eat yogurt, and that's it. It was crazy. I can't even imagine like the models like Cindy Crawford and all them back then, what constraints they were under to keep their weight super, super thin. It's crazy, crazy, crazy to even think about. But what I do know now, strength training, protein intake, and balanced eating. Just an overall balanced way of life. Strength training as we're in our 50s and beyond is so important. It's really more important than cardio, I would say. I mean, if you just walked for cardio, that's all you really need. We need healthy muscles to keep our bones strong. As we age and into menopause, if you're not on HRT and estradiol, then what happens is our bones just start to frail on us. And as I broke my toe, and It doesn't matter. It just takes so long for us to heal. So it's really, really important that strength training, who would have thought back then you were like, oh, I don't want to lift weights. I might bulk up like a man. You're not. You are not. You don't have enough testosterone. You are not made that way to even bulk up like a man. You would have to eat so much protein and really work out so hard twice a day with super overload weights to even get some kind of muscle strength like that, like a male. If you wanted to do one of those, I don't know, what are they called? Like when they go and pose stuff, you probably know. It's so hard for them to even keep that kind of muscle on their body for sure. So those are what I do now, but I wish I would have known that in my 30s. But hey, knowledge is power and we're learning new things. Make sure you subscribe and like and share this video. I am building a community here of lovely ladies, and I would love for you to join our community. Make sure you drop a comment below and let me know what you wish you knew when you were 30. Moving on to number 3. Confidence grows with age if you let it, right? If you let your confidence grow with age. But I wish I knew. I worried too much what others thought. And I wouldn't say like I worried too much what others thought. I always thought I was supposed to be doing something else. I was supposed to do all this stuff. I was supposed to be the best mom. I was supposed to be everywhere. I was supposed to go to work and be the best employee. I was supposed to come home and cook a homemade meal. I did not give myself permission to not worry what others thought. Now that I'm 50, what I do know is focus on self-acceptance and personal style. I can only do what I can control and what I can do, and what I do is good enough. And I have to tell myself that everything I do is good enough. I don't have to live up it to a perfection lifestyle. I don't have to be perfect. My house doesn't have to be perfect. I can go out and run to Target with no makeup, or go to the store wearing workout clothes. I just got my hair done and I wore, because I didn't have time, I wore this little jacket over these little like workout pants, and that's good enough. I felt put together, and sometimes that's going to be okay. We need to relax and be okay with certain situations. I feel like so much pressure on us to raise our kids and go to work, and I just like even the work environment. I mean, they just keep, you give them 100%, they want 120, and they'll take 120. And once you get to 120%, they'll take 150. It is crazy thinking. Just focus on self-acceptance. I just need to accept myself the way I am. I'm imperfect, and I'm okay with that. That's something I wish I really knew earlier, that nothing matters except what I thought. Nothing matters. No one matters what they thought of me and how I did things, or how I approached things, or if I felt like I had my life together when I didn't. I was okay with myself. Number 4, hormones control more than you think. They really do. What I wish I knew: mood swings, weight change, it's all hormones. I don't think anybody really talked about hormones or mood swings or hot flashes or any of that. It was always top secret. It was like, don't tell anybody that. You don't ever tell anybody you're in menopause. You don't talk about perimenopause symptoms. You don't talk about gray hair. You don't talk about any of that stuff. All that stuff meant like, to me, if you did talk about it, you were about to die in the next 5 to 10 years. I mean, it was like dreadful talk. Now it's educational talk, and I'm so here for it. What do I do now? I do regular checkups. I go to my hormone therapist. I go twice a year. I adapt to all my body changes. I'm okay with, not being like the super, super skinny person, bone thin, going on the pre-core, just going 90 to nothing, going to tread class. I mean, it's like, I don't think like that anymore. I want more of an overall health and body balance. Like, I want my mindset balance. I want my healthy eating balance. I want my lifestyle to be balanced. I want more balance in my life. As far as hormone control, like, it's very important to get educated on this subject. It's extremely important to know what estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all those, what those do when those are no longer in your body and not really producing anything. And what that does, I still remember, because I went through perimenopause. It started at like 37. I was having problems. I remember the literal brain fog. Like you just be like, you couldn't even figure out where you were, or the words never would really come out. It was crazy. And I can't even fathom the women back then in the 90s and 80s when they were going through perimenopause, how they felt. Like, they just thought that was normal. Everyone was just walking around. They didn't talk about it. You felt sick. It is, I'm so here for all the education and all the different platforms that people are speaking up, doctors are speaking up about it, so women no longer have to live in silence. Number 5, gray hair and wrinkles are not your enemy. What I wish I knew, I feared aging too much. Like I was saying earlier, I felt like when you were 50, you were gonna die in 10 years and you were gonna be retired. It was crazy, because I remember working at my law firm, and I remember some of the people I work with, I'm like, you're 52? Like I was 24, and I'm just like, these people seem so old. It was crazy. And I remember our HR director, she at 50 wanted to get a facelift. That was like her gift to herself. But the whole thing is, when she went to go get it, she took like 3 or 4 weeks off, and it was like top secret. No one was supposed to know that she had a facelift. Like nowadays, you should be open with things like that. I got a facelift, I got eyelid, I got whatever kind of cosmetic surgery that you wanted to do for yourself. Everything was top secret about back then. It was crazy, but we all knew, but we couldn't say out loud. I mean, like, what a life. You're always hidden behind all these crazy curtains. Now we are free to say whatever we want and do whatever we want with our own bodies. Our body is our choice to do what you want to do with it. If you want to wear gray hair, wear gray hair. If you want to color your hair, color your hair. Do what you want to do that makes you feel good. So what I would do now is embrace the change and find styles that flatter you now. Yes, our body changes, and be okay with it. I think it really starts with a mindset. Your mindset needs to be okay with things. The 50, I mean, you hear people say 50 is the new 30. I feel like I have more energy than I did in 30s. My 30s I was so worn out. Like I just didn't even have time to do anything for myself. I felt like if I took a long shower, that was already too much. It was like go, 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 go. And I felt like that's what you had to do. And you just put one in front of the other and just kept going. Just embracing all the different changes as you age. And I don't look at it in the sense that I feel like now I'm like, oh, 70. I'm like, people are living their greatest life at 70. I just can't wait. Well, I remember when I could not wait to be 40. I already started that mindset change when I was like 37, 38. I was just like excited. I was probably the only person that was excited about turning 40. Everybody else was like, we're not having a party. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. It was like all this stuff that you shouldn't be doing. I was excited. I was excited to be 50. I'm about to be 53, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I want to live a lifestyle that I'm healthy, I'm active, and I feel great. I feel great. And sometimes your bones hurt and this and that. I mean, that's part of it. But the majority of my life, I want to be happy and excited for. Number 6. Friendships change, and that's okay. What I wish I knew, some friendships fade, but deeper ones form. I think we get in a rut thinking this is my best friend for the last 15 years, and there's always a shift. Something happened. Maybe a divorce, maybe their kids started going a different way, maybe they had to go back to work, you don't see each other, and that's okay. Some friendships fade, and there was a purpose for them to be there. And then you have deeper ones starting to form, like more of a deeper connection. What I do know now is focus on meaningful connections, meaning you don't need more the merrier in the friendship department. I think you need more meaningful friendship circles. You don't need 30,000 friends, and they're more social. I just remember you needed a lot of friends, and to me those were never deep connection friends. They were I always call it surface level. Like you go out to dinner, you hang out, you go to bunko parties, you do all that, and you kind of have small chit chat. those are never fulfilling for you. Those are only short terms. And I find that sometimes some of those friends are just there for potential, like just somebody to go out and hang out with, somebody to go to a party because they don't want to go by themselves. I feel like it's never a deeper connection. And once you find your friends that is a small core group and you have a deeper connection, you can really talk through a lot of important things in your life. I know one of my friends starting to get into perimenopause now. She's like just now 50, and she was too scared to tell me. She was like, some of my other friends are not, they're like younger, they were early 40s. And so anyways, we had this discussion and talk about it, and just I was like, oh, these are all very common symptoms. And just the fact that you can open up to your friends when you feel scared, and I can't even believe that women are still sometimes scared talking about certain things. So that is a good thing about having longer, deeper connection. No longer do you need to say, I had a friend for 25 years. You need to have deeper. How many deep connections do you have with your friends that you can talk about anything and feel free to talk about anything? Dressing for your age is a lie. This is number 7. Yes, dressing for your age. I remember it was like, yeah, they're old, so it doesn't matter what they wear. They just wear frumpy stuff. Who cares? I wish I knew there was no rules. What I do know now, wear what makes you feel amazing, makes you feel happy, makes you feel beautiful. We're wearing things no matter what our age. If you want to wear skinny jeans because everyone and me and everyone under the sun say skinny jeans are out, wear your skinny jeans. If you want to wear your super high heels because you love feeling tall, wear your super high heels. This is the time that you wear what makes you feel good. Now, what I want to say about that, sometimes we can get in a rut and only wear the same things over and over year after year, and you can kind of feel a little dated and kind of like in a style rut. But still, overall, the general rule is wear what makes you happy and feels good. I'm so glad there's not a ton of rules sometimes. Number 8, self-care is not selfish. Let me say that again. Self-care is not selfish. What I wish I knew. I used to put myself last. And I think I said earlier, like in my 30s, you're just running, you're taking kids to school, you're going to work, you're coming home and making a homemade meal, you're doing the dishes, you're vacuuming, you're feeding the dog, you're walking the dog. And then by the time you take a shower and then you took a longer shower, you feel totally guilty when the house is in complete shambles and the kids are acting up and they're fighting, and you're just like, why did I even do that? It's not even worth it. Yes, prioritizing wellness, boundaries, and me time. You need to prioritize. So if you want to do a Sunday reset and do the hair mask and the face mask and extra hydration, and you want to put a self tanner on, if you want that time to be for you, don't ever feel guilty. Women in their 30s and 20s and raising kids, they feel guilty, and you shouldn't. If you want to go get your nails done, go get your nails done if that is something you love. If working out is a priority, don't feel bad, because you are energizing yourself and getting yourself ready to be a better version of yourself. And that is so true. So I want to iterate that I think number 8 and another number that's coming up, I think are highly important, because I think we always leave ourselves last. And guess what? You're depleted. If you love reading at night, make sure you tell everyone, I need to read for 45 minutes before I go to bed so I can have some downtime. Everyone needs their downtime to replenish their soul. So whatever that looks like for you, just make it very clear and have boundaries set for everyone. Experiences matter more than things. So true. I wish I knew that sooner. Designer bags don't bring you lasting happiness. Things don't bring you lasting happiness. Because a lot of times we grow out of those things. We're just like, we wore them for 10 years. I'm over it. They don't bring you lasting happiness. I will say that. Very, very true. Things do not. Shoes in the moment. What I do now, travel, make memories, and enjoy small joys. And it really is about that. You could have never told me in my 30s to enjoy the small joys. I enjoy when I have the house to myself. Like, that is like all quiet. I love the moment I put on my candles. It smells good. I put my little jazzy music on, and that is a little small joy for me. So just remember those little things, whatever that might be. Getting up 30 minutes before all the chaos happens in your home to have that one cup of coffee by yourself. Maybe journaling is one of those things that you want to spend 5 minutes doing. It's little joys through your life, maybe walking and listening to the birds, or watching a beautiful waterfall, or when you travel, watching the sun go down. Those little moments, it will live in your head rent free, and you'll be excited about it. It won't be anything you're not excited about. Number 10, the final one, which I think is probably one of the important ones besides number 8. Aging is a privilege. I'm going to say that again. Aging is a privilege. What I wish I knew, not everyone gets older. And it is kind of sad to say that. So that's why I say aging is a privilege. It's a privilege to be. I think so much more knowledge now than I did then. And I'm just like, what was I thinking back then? No, you don't have all these older people to give you all this knowledge that they have learned through their life, and what they realized, all these small little things that they flustered over and got mad at didn't even matter. It did not matter. And they wish they had a little bit more time to themselves and a little bit more like joyous moments. That is something not everyone gets to grow old, and they don't. What I do now, practice gratitude every day. Be thankful for the littlest things. You got a close parking spot at the grocery store. Little things like that. We just take for granted all those things. Somebody brings up your trash can, your neighbor brings up your trash can. Just to be kind. That's so, like little things. You go to the grocery store. Somebody said, no, you go ahead. You look like you're in a hurry, or you only have 3 things and I have a basket. Why don't you go and before me? And just those little things, just have gratitude towards a lot of little things. Just have a smile on your face goes a long ways. Just being friendly to people, saying hi to people. Now, just doing little things like that and practicing gratitude will make you feel like your life is just so happy and just joyous. It will bring you a lot more joy than you think. I thought when people get old, it's just like they're old and tired and cranky. It's like you always put her to like, oh, they're old and cranky over. That's the old and cranky neighbor over there. They're old and cranky. It was like, no, not everybody's old and cranky. We are happy to be alive, and we have a lot of gratitude that we're practicing, and just putting on a smile on your face and enjoying life and your family and friends. Those are some of the things that I wish I knew when I was 30, that I thought mattered but did not matter. None of those mattered. Just like the smallest. So if you get a chance and you know somebody older, ask them these things. Ask them what they have changed from when they were 20s and 30s and what they do now and how they think. I bet you would be surprised of how they would really change their life. Anyways, this was just a fun video. Drop a comment down below. It's maybe something that you wish you knew when you were younger, and tell your old self. But anyways, this is just a fun video. Until next time, bye.